But let's say you're making any like solid amounts, and maybe for 6 months to a year you can save a total of 30 grand. Save 30 grand, and you've been a very good boy or good girl with your credits. Maybe your interest rate is just 8.25%. See, it's already 918 on a monthly basis. Hello, what's up guys? It's your boy Tusiko from Gadget Berry. Today I just want to show you a very simple technique that I use for buying very affordable cars in South Africa. In this video, I'll be showing you how to get cars at a minimum of 1,500 rands to maybe 2,000 rands on a monthly basis. Guys, I don't know if this is important, but this is the second time I'm filming this video. At the first place, I did take a screen recording for over 20 minutes, and I found out that I was not recording audio. Wow. But anyways, um if you enjoyed the video, simply press the subscribe button. If you're here for the first time, that's what I meant to say. If you're here for the first time, simply press the subscribe button. I mean, just to show a bit of appreciation for what I do. I mean, there's a lot of work that I put into these videos, and sometimes I just make a bum out of myself. Like, I've recorded for 20 minutes straight and it was not recording audio. So what do I have to do? Start afresh. And here I am. I'm going to show you a technique that I use for buying affordable cars. Now, first up is cars.coza. Now, that's basically cars.co.za, which is a South African based website that also has a YouTube channel called cars.coza. Now, how slick and clever is that? Cars.co.za. So they are famous for affordable cars and pretty much solid reviews on YouTube. I think they should have. I think they have a TV platform or something, but previously I had made these filters. So when you get into their app, you can select whether you want cars near you or you want to select by province. I just selected by province. The price range I selected from 25 grand to 75 grand maximum. So a minimum of 25 grand to a maximum of 75 grand. Because obviously we're looking for cheap and affordable cars, right? But we want something very decent. We don't want those scrappy old cars. We want something hip and happening. So I don't want to narrow the search more by selecting used or seller type or vehicle type or body type or differential type, color, transmission, yeah, mileage, fuel type, or even using keywords. But you can actually maybe say if you want yourself a Polo or a Toyota Yaris or something like that. Yeah, that's what you can do. You can search that specifically here on the keyword text box, but that's not what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna click search on that filter of 75 grand and 25 grand minimum. See, it's showing us old cars. Not that there's anything wrong with those cars, but we're looking for more hip and happening cars, as we did say. So we're just gonna use that sorting filter and select high to low. As I did say, guys, I filmed for almost 20 minutes and I found out that it was not recording audio. As you can see, on some cars it's saying viewed because I've viewed them. Excuse me if I'm going a bit fast. It's because I've been here already. Nice Ford Fiesta 1.6 Ambiente with rims, mag rims by the way. It's aftermarket mag rims with some chrome accents on the fog lights section. With some electric windows on the front and obviously some window winders at the back, but with some aircon and steering wheel functions. And for the side mirrors, you get an electronic toggle. I really like that. Pretty much never change, even on my Fiesta. Like, I'm rocking this same button, and I'm a big fan of that. I don't like operating the electric mirrors with that analog stick. Now if I want to operate the one on the left on the passenger side, I need to stretch and reach all over. That thing can even cause accidents at some points. I wouldn't be surprised if people say they've been involved in accidents due to that fact alone. Not only accidents, it's just not comfortable. But moving on further, you see if you go to that advanced car finance calculator that car.co offers, you see that the approximate payments already 1,000, showing that on a monthly basis for this car you can be paying 1,476 rands. Now at just 7,000, at just a 10% deposit. Now if you put maybe, let's say you put 15 grand, you put 15 grand deposit and your interest rate is just at 11.5, and you wanted to pay for 5 years, you'd be expected to pay 1,421 rents on a monthly basis for this vehicle for 5 years, obviously. But if you wanted to take it maybe a bit on a bit shorter time period, maybe for the 8 months, which is 4 years, you'd be expected to pay 1,558 on a monthly basis for this nice vehicle. Now let's move on to the next one. This one, I find it to be a better deal than the previous one because already it's a 2011 model, 1 year newer. It's a VW and it's a Polo, much more loved brand and much more popular brand in South Africa. So high repairability levels, and there's many parts on the market for these vehicles. And already this one is a 1.4, so it's lighter on fuel because the Fiesta Ambiente is a 1.6, so it's a bit more thirsty on the fuel side of things. So I think this is a good deal, and the resale value of Polos is very good in South Africa. It's very, very good. And obviously you want a light car, more especially now that the price fuels have skyrocketed, and they've been going up, by the way. So fuel efficiency has been a key aspect for car buyers in South Africa for quite a long time now. Nice clean engine, even though it doesn't have an engine cover, that plastic cover with the VW logo on top of it. But some people like an engine exposed like this. They don't like that cover, the plastic cover. But I like it, but I also don't mind if it's not there, as long as the engine is solid and neat. Large boot space. Polos are very known for a large practical boot space, and it comes with the spare wheel setup over there, spare wheel kit. That's very solid. Let's go on to the calculator. Let's say you've been a bad boy with your credits. Maybe you all sports send some monies, you've been crossing them or something like that, and now your interest rate is gonna be high because obviously they don't trust you with their products. And you've been saving though, but you've been saving some monies on the side. Maybe you got yourself a solid 20 grand. Come on, it's a Polo. You want yourself a nice car. Why don't you want to put in a decent deposit? So for 60 months with 20,000 rands deposit, you'd have to pay 1,258 rands on a monthly basis, which is very, very solid. But let's say you wanted to have that done in 4 years, 1,482 would be expected from you on a monthly basis. Make that 3 years, 1,860 would be expected from you on a monthly basis, which is not bad at all. 1,800 rands for a 60,000 kilometers car, for a car with that low mileage, and it's a 2011. It's not that old. It's just 11 years old. But that also doesn't mean that it was bought and it started working in 2011. Maybe it was bought in 2015, 2014, 2012. I don't know, but let's say you're not looking for a hatchback, you're looking for a buggy. Here's a Chevy utility. It's also light on fuel, 1.4, but very utilitarian vehicle, as the name also suggests. It's a utility. Now, one thing I like for sure about this app, which is cars.cos, is that they make sure, I think that's like a minimum requirement. They make sure that you put good pictures on the advert, and you show all aspects and sides of the car. You show the engine, you show the interior, you show the exterior, you show the wheels, you show the scratches, you show the dents, you show each and every aspect of the car. It's not like buying, it's second-hand vehicles, but it's not like buying from a person, say from Country or Facebook or OLX, where you're gonna be begging a person for pictures. The person will be sending you unclear pictures, and maybe they come with a bad attitude or whatever, because they've had a lot of people wasting their time and stuff like that, and now they project that onto you. They think you're wasting their time. They're coming with negative vibes. They're too lazy to send you pictures and stuff like that. Now we end up going to inspect the car yourself without getting clear pictures. If you had clear pictures, maybe you wouldn't even have went there to go and inspect the vehicle. So as Moses Sambo always says, uh, the second car market is too hectic in South Africa. It's too hectic, and you might be buying something that has been repaired and stuff like that, and that will not be disclosed to you at some point. So I really trust cars.coza. Now it shows that with a 0% deposit, if you put nothing on the deposit for that utility, for that Chevy utility, that expects you to pay 1,640 rands on a monthly basis for 6 years. I presume 60 months is 6 years, but for 5 years you'd be paying 1,776, but for 3 years you'd be paying 2,464. But if you decide to put in a deposit of 25 grand, because come on, let's say you have a business that's making money, that's why you need this vehicle at the first place. So you must be saving, you must have been saving some money. You can't just go buy a car without knowing whether you can save or not, or without knowing or relying on some savings or something like that. So it shows that for 3 years, you'd be at 11.25% interest rate, of course. You'd be expected to pay 1,643 rands on a monthly basis. Now that's very affordable. That's very affordable. That's very even. I don't know how much security guards make on a monthly basis, but I believe that even if you're a security guard and you've got your savings right, you can afford these cars. Like, don't think it's impossible. Another Paki that's very loved in South Africa, as much as it's a Renault wearing, as much as it's a Renault underneath, covered in a Nissan skin, it's still a very loved car in South Africa, and it's very reliable. My uncle owns two of these vehicles, and I've driven them for quite a long time, so I know that they are very reliable and very light on fuel. They say these cars are 1.6 liters. Yes, they are, but trust me, I've experienced these cars to be lighter than some 1.2s I've driven, lighter than some 1 liters I've driven, or comparable or equivalent to some 1 liters that I've driven in the past. So quite a light vehicle on fuel. I'd I'd really buy this buggy because it's reliable and it's light on fuel. But I think if I were to buy a buggy, between the two buggies that we've just reviewed, not really reviewed, between the two buggies that we've just spoken about, which is the utility and this NP200, I'd go for the utility because I know I'm getting a real Chevy there, and the utility looks a bit more nicer on the aesthetics of things. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm only going through the vehicles that I've viewed already. Now, here's a Etios, which is South Africa's favorite as well. It's got electric windows, this Etios. The mileage, and yeah, 4 electric windows, nice door pins, large door pins for cup holders and stuff. For drinks, not cup holders. They are actually cup holders. Excuse me. So it's a 2012 Toyota Etios 1.5 Xi. And I've always been saying that if a car has some X something XL or XI or XS or XR on its modeling, it's usually one of the top spec ones. Let's go on to the calculator and say maybe you are working as a teacher or something like that, and you'd like to buy this vehicle, so you earn yourself a solid 20, 25, 15. I don't know how much teachers make, I really don't. But let's say you're making any like solid amounts, and maybe for 6 months to a year you can save a total of 30 grand. Save 30 grand, and you've been a very good boy or good girl with your credits. maybe your interest rate is just 8.25%. See, it's already 918 on a monthly basis at 60 months. Now let's say you wanted to quit to finish quicker in 3 years. That takes you to 1,415 rands on a monthly basis. Slapping an extra 200 rands for the tracker. I know a lot of trekking companies that say they can offer you some tracker services for $100, 150. No, the 150 ones that are really, really good, but hey, I don't think others are that reliable. I mean, for 100 rand, you think they can track your car? Maybe they can, but hey, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. I think you should go for the ones at 200 rands minimum, 250 upwards. So let's say 200 rand for a tracker, 700 rand to 800 rand for insurance, depends on who you are. That's an extra. An extra 800 plus, that's an extra 1,000 rands. So whatever amount you get here, just slap in 1,000 on top of it. So here we got 1,476, slap in 1,000 for tracker and insurance. That gives you 2,476, which is not that bad. It's not bad at all. I know guys that are paying, I know people that are paying 7 grand, 8 grand for a vehicle. And if you want something more solid, maybe for Uber or something, or maybe you're looking for a nice family car and you can't afford an SUV, here's a Toyota Corolla Professional. It's a full house. It's got lumbar support at the back if you compromise that middle seat. And I know it's got some two cup holders because I've been in one before. Two cup holders at the back, some ripples and tears on the seats, but it's nothing you can't sort out. I mean, the price is really, really good for this full house vehicle. Door pins at the front with cup holders, door pins at the back with cup holders as well. Pretty much neat looking interior. And guess what? It's also 75 grand. 75 grand. So you can end up paying what? 1,476. Let's say you wanted to finish this in 2 years and you have like 25 grand on you. So you'll be expected to pay 2,336. Now I'm configuring like this because obviously with different human beings, different people with different financial statuses and stuff like that. So I believe that different people would have different interest rates, different people who will afford different deposits, and different people will want different terms, obviously loan terms. Now you can go for finance for for actual car finance if they approve you, but you can also go for personal loan. You can also go the personal loan route and pay the personal loan if they are not offering finance, because for some of these cars they don't offer finance. This mileage is too high. It's 236,918 and they want 75 grand for this car. It's a Chevrolet Spark 1.2 Compass. I believe it's an LS because LS is the top of the range, and I saw it as fog lights. Yeah, it is an LS, and I saw that very nice bumper. Yeah, a nice bumper with some chrome accents on the fog light section, and um, that black bottom grille with the different design from the normal Sparks that we know. So it's a very, very interesting one. But hey, the mileage is too high considering the fact that you can get Polos, which is a bigger car in terms of size, considering the fact that you can get them for uh, for the same price at a slightly cheaper, at a slightly lower mileage, mind you. I recently realized that before I'd avoid this car, but also at this price range I'd avoid it at 75 grand. It is a Seat Ibiza 1.6, but I've recently learned that they've got Polo engines inside, basically VW engines. A friend of mine recently bought one of these, and we inspected it. If you know Polo engines, you can see that that's a VW engine already, even where the computer box is placed and stuff, and how it drives. Even the gearbox, I believe it's a VW gearbox. So yeah, I wouldn't cross these cars anymore. If I see a very good deal, I'd jump for it because I know it's a VW in the interior. So if you guys are having a good day, if you guys enjoyed the video, simply press the like button and of course subscribe if it's your first time here, and tell your friends about the channel. I hope you guys are having yourselves a good day there, because I'm definitely going to be having myself a good one here. Peace.